What's up, everybody? It's that time again. It's D to the J with a roll away, and it's time for the most exciting sports hour on Facebook Live and Let Go Radio, the Sports Minion Radio Show. Got a very special guest with me. My brother Chuck is in the house today. What's going on, bro?
Love me.
Oh, love him. He needs some love. I ain't been here so long. He's loved out. Y'all got to help him out.
Loveless.
Yeah, loveless. Hey, with the double S at the end. All
Yes.
right. Got a lot of things to cover today. I'm actually, once we get through the promotions here, I'm going to cover my CP stuff first and disability story first. But I just want to go over just a few things. Jack Dart's got a new location for Taekwondo Champions. That is 1949 Lynn Haven Parkway in the Lynn Haven Parkway Shopping Center at the intersection of Lynn Haven and Princess Anne Road. That is, for more information on that, you can get a week free with Jack also going in. He's got his Body by Jack going on, a physical fitness, 8 weeks coming into that. Special going in. The number for that is 757-416-1120 to check that out and find out all about Body by Jack and his great fitness program of 8 weeks that he's got. Tiger Martial Arts does have a trial right now of $49.99 for a uniform and a 2-week trial for until the end of the month. So you can actually check that out as well at 757-488-3882 for more information. Contact one of the Tiger Martial Arts certified instructors. And finally, we have the Grandmaster Jack Dart birthday battle coming up Saturday, October 19th, 2019 at Atlantic Shores Christian School, 1217 Centerville Turnpike, North Chesapeake, 23320. Going to be a lot of money this year. Men's Grand Championship, $200 and a trophy. Women's Grand Championship, $200 and a trophy. And Weapons versus Empty Hand, $100 and a trophy. Please make sure that you wear all gear and no checks. It is $70 for the event for 1 or 3 events. And if you bring 2 non-perishable food items, he will drop $5 off that. The registration begins from 8:30 to 10. Black belt meeting is at 10 o'clock. And the competition begins at 10:30 sharp. $7 spectator fee. Make sure y'all bring all the cash and have some fun with Jack on the Grandmaster Jack Dart's birthday battle. All right, so those are the promotions that I wanted to go. Oh, actually, I've got one more.
Oh.
I forgot. The Kelly's Choice Cares Givers Gala, November the 16th. And that is going to be the Caregivers Ball. Make sure y'all bring your formal attire because I got to look good.
Do they wear it or do they just bring it?
They do want to put it on. You want
you want to specify because you said bring it like they're supposed to donate it.
Well, I mean, if you don't put on your formal attire, then you got normal.
Then you won't be wearing formal attire,
and it won't be formal. And then it's just wear your formal attire, please. Make sure you have it on you.
No, on.
But yeah, at all times, please don't. Okay, so that is going to be at the 757 Hub, and that is, let me get the address here for that. Sorry about that. My card's too small. 6801 Bridgeway Drive in Suffolk, Virginia, 23435, and that is from 4 to 7, possibly 8. Want to make sure we give that extra time. Going to be presenting some great awards to all the caregivers in the community. And, Miss Winnie's going to do a good job on that because she always does every year. All right. So now let's get into some things. And I know. Calm down over there. He's going to hop out of the chair. Y'all so excited to be on the show.
No, they're excited for me to be on the show.
Did they remember you? I'm not sure.
I don't care if they remember me. They're excited.
I'm not sure. All right. So a couple things I want to talk about. I got an email last week from a friend of mine that has cerebral palsy. His name is Paul, and he had a lot of questions about handicap van and things like that. And when he got his insurance, he wanted to know if, as far as with the van itself, were the modifications on the van covered. First thing, I talked to my insurance company. Now, this is individual insurance companies are going to be different. So, Paul, make sure that you talk to your insurance company as well. But here's what they told me. basically, unless your van comes off the factory floor already modified, meaning the van was built that way from the beginning with everything on it, the VIN number will show that modification when it's pulled up, okay? Otherwise, no matter how much equipment you have put on it, if it's a conversion, if the ramp is built in, the kneel is built in, all of that, that does not, in most times, because it's on the inside of the vehicle and it's not built off the factory floor, that is not covered. The body, the engine, it is the straight value of the vehicle itself without the modifications.
Well,
so, and that's
let's be clear about this. That's
okay.
if you just get a regular insurance.
Okay.
There are ways around everything. Just like you can upgrade your car and still get stuff covered, even accessories, radios, things like that.
Okay.
You can't just get basic coverage. You have to get add-on coverages.
Now, is that a warranty base through it?
No,
or?
it's through insurance. You pay at times quite a bit more.
Okay.
But you can get that stuff covered. But if you just go, I have a van, handicap van, and I want to get it covered with insurance, they're going to give you a regular insurance just like any other car.
So is it like a rider type deal that you would have to discuss? Right. Okay. So that and see some of this.
Not all insurance companies will do it.
Okay. And again, that's why I said at the beginning, it is very imperative that you talk to your insurance company first before you get the vehicle. Let them know what you're planning to do and be very specific. I always, when I get mine, like a rider. Also with when you first purchase them, you have the ability to get a bumper-to-bumper warranty.
But that doesn't include anything you changed on the car.
Yeah. Now that's as it is once it's
off the lot.
Yeah, coming in off the lot. So now most, I know Mitsa Virginia offers a bumper-to-bumper everything in the vehicle because they specialize in handicapped vehicles. But again, that's just like my brother said. It came off the lot that way, so they're going to cover it. Most vans, even the older style, mine is an 06. The most newer vans are going to run in the $40,000 to $50,000 range. Plus because of the conversions that they have on them. There are avenues that you can go through. There are grants that you can get. That's not easy. I know the ATFLA does some granting in Virginia, but you want to research that. As far as there's Van House, there's Right Away, there's Mitsa Virginia, there's Right Away change to Mobility Works. But make sure for insurance purposes that it's not a converted vehicle, because otherwise you have to get that special insurance that my brother was talking about where you add it on, and not all companies do that. Now, as far as medical equipment, a lot of questions in this email that he wrote. Why are chairs so expensive? Power chairs, you're talking about, you've got a couple of different things here. With the power chairs or the electronic chairs that are driven, they have a lot of moving parts, and a lot of that is done overseas. I don't know of many companies that are in America that do them. I don't know if you've heard of any at all. Most of that is overseas, so a lot of that is done over there, and then they have to ship the parts back. The insurances are only going to pay but so much. So that first offer, if they say the chair is $30,000, the insurance is not necessarily
definitely not
going to give $30,000 on a chair. Now, going back, Miss Winnie just commented. She said, "I got insurance on the van with no problem." She says, "Heck, this the life of a person. We need medical necessary equipment. It's all expensive." You are right about that. It is all expensive, and that's the cool thing about it, that you were able to get insurance on that. Now, going with chairs and things like that, I'm very surprised. They don't. Nothing is made anymore to last. it's made to make money. I think.
Let's make this statement. The more advanced things get, the more moving parts that are in something, the easier it is to break.
For it to break down. Yeah.
You know, we talk about things weren't made like they used to be. Well, a washer and dryer 30 years ago were made with minimal moving parts.
And that's why
they didn't have 700 buttons and 45 settings.
Right.
You know, fluffing and turntabling and whatever all these different
multiple
things
dispensers. Yeah.
You know, so the more things get, like these cars, they don't last as long. Why? Because there's computers. Yeah. There's anti-lock this. There's sensoring that. You know, now they pretty much drive themselves, and all you do is hold on to the wheel and pray.
Yeah, and pretty soon it'll do that for you too.
But the thing about it is, if one little thing breaks in that computer, your car breaks down.
Now, and here's something, you know, and my brother is really, really, really good about this.
I am not, and don't accuse me of anything.
I'm not accusing yet. Let me get to it.
I was prefacing that. I was worried.
Okay. All right. So, Sports Minion almost had to tie him down in the chair for a minute. One of the things with the cars, especially the vans and the handicap vans, are sensors. There are hundreds of sensors in the van, and if they go bad, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to get something done. Now, I see a light on the car and I freak out.
And you would think the world was coming to an end.
Yes, because
just calling Chicken Little.
Yep. The sky is falling, and there we go. Now, here's the thing. There, especially with mine, there's a brake sensor on the left and a brake sensor on the right. And those ABS and traction control is on there, but the brakes are good. There's nothing wrong with the brakes. Got the car inspected and everything passed.
Now, let's make this very clear. If you drive your vehicle 200 miles a day, get it fixed. You know, if you drive like you, 5 miles a week at best.
Right, 10 miles, somewhere in there.
You know, there's no need to spend $900 for a sensor that may or may not do anything.
Well, and that's the thing. When I talked to the guy that did the inspection, he said, "Look, the only thing you don't have right now is your ABS, which is your automatic braking system, okay? And it basically pumps the brake for you, pumps the brakes for you.
Pump the brake. Pump the brake.
Okay, easy now, easy. So if you don't drive on ice, but I mean, it very rarely snows here. So
not even that, you don't drive, and you're terrified to go to leave the house in the snow. So
I mean,
you wouldn't be into on ice anyway.
Oh, look, I don't want to go to Snowman, okay? No. But I mean, honestly, each sensor is $450 a piece. So yes, you can get them replaced, and like Chuck said, if you drive 200 miles a day, get it fixed. But even if you want to do them one at a time at $450 is better than going ahead and spending $950 to and that doesn't count labor. That's just the part.
Electronics are expensive in vehicles. That's why they don't people just don't make. I mean, why? You know, if I'm going to spend $4,000 to fix some electrical system that may or may not work, well, at this point, trade the car in.
Right.
You know.
Now, and you said this, and a lot of times everybody's laughing at what's going on.
Don't laugh at me.
No, please laugh at him. Please
love me.
No, well, love him while you laugh at him. Okay.
No. Well, hey, I don't know. It depends.
Laughing with love, is that a thing?
Laugh with me, but if you laugh at me too, I care less. Don't bother me.
Now, do you think? I mean, you know, whether
I try not to.
Well, yeah, obviously that was a loaded question. With a lot of, even if it's a modified vehicle, do you think that people put things on cars to make money so they break down, so they tell you like oil changes?
No, if the people who buy these, you mean other? No, I don't think they make cars to break down. I don't think they specifically make anything to break down. I honestly, in my opinion, things are just so complicated now, so high tech, that they break down. They just don't last because the electronic stuff and any little thing can cause all sorts of issues in the system.
Right.
You know, Maytag's not going, you know what? Let's build these washers only last 5 years.
Right. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Then they'll have to buy them.
Mm-hmm.
Because the repairs on these Maytags would make them, you know, if they made them easily repaired,
mm-hmm.
then they would make a lot more money.
Yeah.
The problem is things are so complicated, so many moving parts, so many little things that can go wrong that, you know, things just don't last.
Yeah. And well, my example was.
You have an example?
Yeah, I do. They tell me like to get my oil changed every 3,000 miles.
No.
Now you were talking about the way I drive. I could do it every 5,000.
Anybody. Nobody should change their oil more less than 5,000 miles.
No matter the vehicle.
No matter the vehicle. Most vehicles, especially if they're using synthetics or different things, can go as much as anywhere from 8,000 to 10,000 miles. Mm-hmm. There are cars nowadays built that can go 15,000, 16,000 miles before an oil change.
So why do the companies
those want money? Those are the people. All your flushes, your transmission flush, your brake system flush, all these little extra things that they add on.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they want to make money from.
So I mean, as far as brakes and stuff too, you think it's the same? I mean,
brakes are brakes. Tires, you can go a little bit longer than they suggest because you know what? When it gets down to the point, you know, they say, mm-hmm. I'm not changing my tires. All right, but you know, all your little things that they add on, they go, hey, by the way, it's time for this flush or that flush or this thing. That's all add-on stuff that may or may not be necessary.
Right. If
you don't have issues, don't pay for that crap.
All right. So let's ask it this way. Say, you know, you've got an individual that has a disability, CP, spina bifida, or whatever. They have one car. They have, it's a van, and it's a handicap van with a ramp.
I'm just like I've told you.
Okay.
When they all told you to do the transmission flush and all that other stuff, what did I tell you?
Don't do it.
Don't do it. You have, if you have a certain amount of miles on your car and it's getting to the point where either, stuff is showing up in the transmission fluid and they can show you that,
mm-hmm. That's
then
different.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But at 30,000 miles, you don't need to flush your transmission.
Yeah, I have 38,000 miles on my van, and Miss Kelly just said that's very true. But is that because they're used to doing it and with the money makers again?
That's where they make their profits.
Mm-hmm.
They don't make because that takes $15 worth of stuff,
right?
And
they charge you $100
an hour worth of time,
mm-hmm.
and they charge you $150 to $300.
Yep. Now, see, and in disability or not, I don't know a lot about cars, and a person
unless you know about cars, you don't know. Many people don't.
Right. So
the only reason I know about this stuff is because in the business I was in, I had to maintain a fleet,
mm-hmm.
so
mm-hmm.
I had to make decisions on when to do certain things.
Right.
We kept our vehicles up to about 160,000 miles.
Okay.
So we had to decide when to put tires on, when to do flushes, when to do things. We did oil changes every 5,000 miles.
So you were around it all the time.
All the time.
So what advice would you give to a person that doesn't know a lot about vehicles? How do you determine what to do?
Look online. Talk to people who do know things about it that are going to give you an honest answer. Just don't listen to the people at the counter saying, "Hey, you need this."
And dealerships will.
My ex used to be a service writer.
Mm-hmm.
It killed her
mm-hmm.
to have to try to sell all these excess things. That's where she made her money.
Mm-hmm.
But
why sell somebody something they don't need?
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think that's again society. Money make. You gotta.
That's the capitalist society.
Right. And you got to look at what really needs to the wear and tear. At 38,000 miles is none. Yeah.
Your issues, you have to make sure that because your vehicle doesn't run as much, you want to make sure nothing dry rots from the heat and from being hot and cooling off and sitting in the sun all the time. That's the kind of stuff you have to worry about, not how much wear and tear you're driving the vehicle.
And the cool thing about it is that the guy that did the last work on my car, he said, you don't need to change this. Don't change this. Don't do this. It's too much money. I would, there are thousands of people driving around with ABS lights on. That it's a system for people that got lazy because they don't pump their brakes like they
pump your brakes, boy.
Right, exactly. I mean, that's basically now. The last part of the equipment is crutches and things like that. You were asking about
beat people with.
No, you can.
That was my favorite thing.
Oh boy, this is gonna get that quick. But I think medical equipment in general, for if you get it at a CVS store, or if you get it, it's going to be higher. From urinals to crutch tips to canes, all of that, anything with durable medical equipment where the stores sell it, and we're getting a lot of comments on this, to where it's stores mark everything up. It really is.
They have to. Okay, you got to remember, if you're not a specialist, okay, and you go to that place,
right,
they have to mark everything up, because to keep that in, they pay more than companies,
because it's not normal. Specialists. It's not normal equipment, right?
So they pay more, so they have to mark it up more. It's convenient. Now, we pay as a society. We love convenience, so we pay more for things just because it's convenient,
right?
But now we can order it online.
Well, and I think that's where looking at medical equipment. Not saying that this is a bad idea. A lot of Salvation Armies have good medical equipment. Or
don't buy urinals from Salvation.
No, don't. I'm not saying that.
Come on.
I'm saying
that's kind of gross.
Like handrails at Ollie's. When you to put up for the bathroom, those kind of things. You're going to pay $10 or $12 there, where if you go to a Rite Aid, you'll pay $10.
Let's. I'm going to make a statement about things at Ollie's versus other places.
Okay.
I am a firm believer that in a lot of things, you get what you pay for.
Okay.
A $10 handrail at Ollie's isn't going to last as long as a true medical handrail that you can get at a medical supply or a Walgreens and things like that. They're just not made the same. There's a reason it's $10. So don't always assume that the cheapest is the best.
The handrails that are up in the bathroom here, the ones that I paid for, I think were $15 to $20, and I've had them in 3 bathrooms.
I didn't say it's always the case.
I get you. I'm just saying.
But cheap is not always the answer.
You've talked about that with Mom, and it's true. In some things that you buy, you have to be really careful. And with medical equipment, you want to make sure that there's a difference there, Miss Winnie. Now, and Blake also.
Well, you got to tell the comments so that people know what you're talking about. They don't see what you're seeing.
Basically, Blake just said even if you have Medicare and Medicaid, they don't cover everything. Yes, that's true. It's normally 80-20 with Medicare, and Medicaid will cover it, but you most of the time have to get a doctor's script saying that you need it, and it has to be what they call, I think it's not a variable expense, but like it has to be proven that it's needed through a specialist. You have to get a write-up and things like that. So a lot of times they will have home evaluations, and they'll come through the house and say, okay, you're going to get handrails here, here, and here. I can write that you need them because you're in a power chair and you transfer, this way. They'll have a therapist come in and do all that. So there are ways to get around it. But again, I do agree to some extent. You do get what you pay for
in a lot of things.
But I think medical equipment, you have to be careful because.
Well, okay, so that cheap might last, but it might be made with Chinese steel and going to cause you some sort of issue later in the future.
That's true.
So that cheap might not be, just because it lasts, might not be a good thing that it lasts. So you just got to be careful.
So
do your research.
And that, I mean, is that reviews on things?
I live by reviews. I would rather pay a little more on a company that 1,000 people have said 4 to 5 stars,
right? Than
I would pay half that amount for people that say for 2 to 2.5 stars. There's a reason that company has, 4 to 5 stars. They do things better.
So you're a firm believer in strict research before you buy something, as far as and for people with CP, especially that or any disability for
anybody.
that.
This has something to do with handicap. in life, research it, get 3 estimates if you're doing something that has any expense to it, and know what you're getting.
Yeah, yeah. That makes sense. I mean, that makes dollars eventually because you save, and you end up saving that way too. Because I know even with your TVs and stuff, you looked online for sales, but you also look at the value of what
I'm getting for what I paid.
And I think everybody is looking to save that mighty dollar, but you just said it.
I know tons of people who just go buy whatever they just buy the first thing.
I mean,
compulsory.
I'm saying they want to because it's on sale. It's a good deal, and that's not always the case. Classic example. We're looking at sound bars. I don't know a lot about them. Chuck does. You have to look at size. You have to look at the size of your TV.
It's not the size.
Whoa! Sound bar. Okay, so but Paul, I hope that helps you out. Again, talk to your insurance agent. Do a lot of research online. If you can find a medical rehab center in your area, talk to them. They may have stuff that's discounted.
Look online.
Look online. And that's eBay, Craigslist.
Hey, no. Don't do Craigslist.
No, for any.
I would not suggest me going to somebody's house and looking at their stuff.
That's a good idea too.
I mean, in today's society, as many houses as I've been to for work, I feel uncomfortable. I mean, Craigslist is only good for 2 things anymore.
Yeah. Now that's one thing with ramps, Blake. I can tell you, working on the ramp for the house, that's online. The tri-fold ramps, the aluminum ones that fold in, are really good, but you're probably going to pay in excess of $300 to $400 for them.
Oh, that's nothing.
And that's normal.
If you put a permanent one in, with any kind of grade.
Oh gosh.
You're talking twice that or more.
Oh, good Lord! That's what that can be
Anywhere.
$1,000.
It depends on how high you have to go and the grade and all that other stuff. So
And then with that, it has to be kept up to code forever.
Well, it has to be kept up to code.
Yeah, because I think it's every foot you go out, you have to go up 2 feet to.
And let's not talk about that because every state is different, every city is different, every code, municipal, all that other stuff. They have their own. You have to have a professional do it because then they can do the codes. Yeah,
and that's good. Miss Winnie just said, me too, working on the ramp as well, but Kelly's waiver is going to cover it. However, I opted to get the portable one. And the good thing about the portable ones is you can take them with you because
porta potties?
No, not porta potties. The ramp.
To the porta potty.
Well, you can take the ramp to the porta potty if you can't get in, but I mean, we're really discussing how to get into the porta potty now. But that's sometimes when you gotta go, you gotta
go, baby.
And I don't have to go right now. All right, so we're gonna go again, Paul. I hope that helps you out. Wanted to cover that and get through that first.
Love you, Paul. Don't know you, but love you.
Yeah, we want to make sure that you get credited there. All right, so couple of things we're going to talk about sports-wise.
Hold on, before we talk about sports, all my Patriot haters, come on aboard.
Oh, here we go. Now, I want to mention something that
the Patriots are awesome.
Well, they are,
and the Redskins stink.
Well, no, they don't stink. They're beyond that.
They're
horrible.
They're that rotten possum that's been under the house for now.
Yeah, hours. And then baked in the sun for about 12 hours after that. The high school team that doesn't have their equipment, they could beat them.
Yeah.
And I'm a Redskin fan, guys. I want to talk. There was a headline that said Jay Gruden is not worried about his job security.
Yeah, because he knows he's being fired.
We talked about this at the very beginning of the year. And I actually wrote this down when Chuck said he was here the other day. We were talking a little bit about it. When you come in as a team, it doesn't matter how much talent you have because the Redskins have talent on their team.
Where?
As far.
I mean, I'm just curious because that defense has no talent.
Jimmy Moreland. I mean, McLaurin. Every
where?
Wide receiver.
I'm talking defense.
Let me get back to you.
Okay, get back to you.
But as far you have to have a plan first. You have to have an identity first of what you want to do. You have to look at it and say, okay, are we going to be a 50-50? Are we going to be a run and gun? Are we going to be a running team? Are we going to be a passing team? One of the coolest things that Chuck said, and it made
I say a lot of cool things.
Well, yes, I know, but I can't cover them all. I only have an hour. Was about, if you set Case Keenum back in the pocket and he gets his, throws the ball and gets it out of his hands before 2 seconds, nobody is going to
get to him.
So, but you have to build that to where the receivers are running the right routes. Part of that is coaching, and then part of it is execution. So
the main part is having the right people in the right place.
And that, I think, from beginning, because Gruden's been there 6 years and done nothing.
Well, Gruden says he's a running coach.
He's not.
I'm just telling you what he came in as.
Right.
He wanted that big offensive line to pound the ball. Well, he's not. He throws the ball.
Exactly.
So why have these big, giant run blockers
if you're not going to run?
Switch to a zone run, smaller, faster linemen. Casey Keenum, Alex Smith, all those guys can throw relatively quick. So put it back, throw the ball out, get it moving.
Yeah, Marshall's dad was here when we were watching the game, and he goes, he ran the ball once and threw the ball 4 times.
But he's a running coach.
And the runner, and Adrian Peterson was getting 4 and 5 yards on the run. And I'm like, what are you doing?
That's because they got no identity, and they're not going to do anything.
I
told you that. I told you at the end of last year this was going to be their worst year in a long time.
Now, here's the thing, and everybody is saying it's Snyder. It
used to be Snyder.
It's Allen.
It's Gruden.
But it's Allen as well, because you've got to wipe everybody from, because they're saying if they fire Jay Gruden right now, the person that would come in would be Bill Callahan, who is the offensive line coach.
That's fine. He'll be just like everywhere else. It'll be temporary.
Yeah,
and they'll find a coach next year.
Yeah.
The problem is everybody wants to be the Patriots. Okay, but it's not as simple as being the Patriots.
No, it's not. I think honestly, what it comes down to, and you look at the Patriots when Bill Belichick came in. Robert Kraft, the only thing he does is sign the checks.
And good job, guys. Good job.
That's it. A couple of times. You can't clap too much, man. That pacemaker got to make sure.
Bring me another Super Bowl. Bring me another AFC championship.
It's amazing to me that Bill Belichick, doesn't matter the style of player that he brings in, every time it fits his scheme, it works for him. And
it fits what he needs.
Exactly. And it's never – it can be – look at Randy Moss. He had a horrible year. Came in with the Patriots and lit it up like it was Christmas. And even now, the one thing that I and I'm not a Patriot fan, but I'm telling you, when I started watching them 2 years ago,
he was a hater. Like the rest of you.
I couldn't stand Tom Brady. I couldn't stand, period. You know where I'm going with that. But I hated Tom Brady because he was so good. But you realize now, and you look at it just like the Antonio Brown situation. They signed him. He was in there for one game, got a touchdown, did good things. 2 weeks later, you're not working for us, you're gone.
Well,
and I think here's where Tom Brady is smart. It was written. Reporters were all in Tom Brady's face. Antonio, blah. Brady said, I'm not going to comment on that. And look, I respect Antonio Brown. I think he's a heck of a player.
I don't respect Antonio Brown. I respect his ability to play football.
Okay.
But I don't respect Antonio Brown.
Yeah, too much drama. Way too much.
All the way back to the crap that happened in Pittsburgh and then in Oakland or Las Vegas, wherever they're at now. I don't know. Are they in Vegas this year now?
Not they really
another year.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then he came there and they took his phone away. They took control of his account so that he couldn't post and do that,
which was smart.
That's what the Patriots do with a bad apple.
Well, and you look at the whole, but see, one of the great things about the Patriots and the players that are there is they're conditioned. We were talking about it at the end of practice. Belichick used to tell them, go to the heel. Once he's done that, heel, sorry.
Heel is
the back of the foot. I got it. Go to the heel.
Or a bad guy in wrestling.
Yeah, could be. Or no, is actually, but they go to the heel themselves now. It's a Patriot way is actually a thing. It's not just.
And you can take that by looking at Detroit.
Yeah, I mean
2-0-1.
I mean Matt and Patricia now they're 3-0. I mean that's
2-0-1.
Excuse me, yeah, and this is only his second year,
right?
So
and he runs the Patriots way,
and it's the build of what he puts in. And I mean Matthew Stafford is doing better than he's.
Well, that's because he's not on his butt all the time.
Well, I mean, but he's got the pieces are where they need to be.
He's always had the pieces. The problem is he never had a line. Now he has a front line that stops him from getting sacked to 150 times.
And I mean, the Redskins blocked last year. Now they don't do anything. There were 5 turnovers in that Redskin game, and 3 of them were interceptions by Keenum. Both 2 interceptions intercepted by Clinton Dix because all we did was sit back there and watch Keenum's eyes, and I'm like, there's no adapt. There's no adaptation. You got to adjust.
And look, you might as well give up on the Redskins this year. If they win 3 games, I'd be surprised.
Oh, no, they're not going to win. They're not going to win 3. They're not going.
I'm just saying.
No,
they might bite somebody in the butt somehow, just for But
that's not legal.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
I understand, but it's not legal. I mean, they're going to get a penalty for it.
That's fine as long as they win a game.
So. I want to go over the picks that I've got here, and we've got a couple of for the. Let me get the scoreboard pulled up here. All right, we got Dallas and the Saints. I'm going to take Dallas. I'm going to take the Saints by 7. What do you think on Dallas?
I think Dallas by 10.
You think Dallas by 10? All right, Cleveland and Baltimore. I'm going to take Baltimore by 10.
I'll even agree with that one.
Okay, Chiefs and Detroit. I'm going to pull an upset here. I'm going to say Detroit by 3.
I'm going to say Kansas City by 7.
Yeah, because Mahomes is lighting it up. All right, Raiders and Colts. I'm going to say Indy.
There's no reason to say otherwise.
Yeah, well, Brissett is lighting it up. All right, Redskins and Giants. Well, Giants by 10.
I'm Giants by 14.
Okay. Buccaneers and Rams. I'm going to say Rams by 20.
I don't know. Right? The Buccaneers have been playing solid. They're not horrible, but I'm going to say the Rams by 10.
Yeah, but Giants came back and beat them from a 19-point deficit last week.
Yeah, by 1 point.
Yep.
But it doesn't mean,
Jaguars and Denver. I really want to see Denver win this game. I mean, with Flacco, I'm going to say Denver by 3.
You like Flacco? I told you Flacco was worthless.
I'm going to say Denver by 3.
I'm going to say Jags by 3.
Okay. Titans and Falcons. Titans have been doing really well. I'm going to say Titans by 10.
I'm going to say Falcons by 3.
Patriots and Bills, both 3-0.
That doesn't mean a thing.
I think it's going to be a good game, but I think the Patriots are going to win. I'm going to say by 13.
I'm going to go ahead and go all out. Say Patriots by 14.
Okay. All right. Carolina and Houston. Cam Newton not playing. I'm going to say Houston by 7.
Carolina by 3.
Okay. Miami and Los Angeles.
If anybody in their right mind picks Miami, they should be shocked.
No, I'm going to say I don't want to be shot, and I'm in my right mind, so I'll say Chargers by 10.
I'm going to say Chargers by 16.
I think this is going to be the game of the week right here. Minnesota has been lighting up.
You skipped Cardinals.
Oh, did I? I'm sorry. Cardinals and Seahawks. Cardinals are not – they're good, but they can't – they fall apart at the end of the game. I'm going to say Seahawks by 10.
I say Seahawks by 3.
Okay. Minnesota and Chicago, I think this is going to be the game of the week. I am going to say Kirk Cousins doesn't like that. I'm going to say the Bears by 7.
I'm going to say Bears by 10.
Okay. And the final game of week 4, the Bengals and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is falling apart. I'm going to say –
falling. They never started. They never got to together.
I'm going to say I'll say they rebound this week and say Pittsburgh by 3.
They rebound from what?
Falling
the abyss.
Well,
they're in the abyss. You don't rebound from the abyss.
Well,
you slowly,
you kind of
methodically drag yourself out of it.
Well,
if you're lucky,
you kind of float around in there.
Cincinnati by 10.
Cincinnati by 10. All right, let's go to one thing real quick here. I think the team that's going to give the Patriots most trouble, if any, is going to be Kansas City. I think that's going to be, the biggest, possibly Baltimore. The Ravens are defenses.
Ravens are a decent defense, but not a strong enough offense.
Okay.
I mean, they just lost to Kansas City.
Yeah, but that was 27 to like 30 to 27. I mean, it was right there.
Kansas City doesn't have a defense.
Yeah, that's true too.
The Patriots' defense is looking good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, the Jets scored 14 on them, but one of those 7 of that was junk from the backup throwing an interception.
I think actually both of those were defensive because they said that
one of them was an interception from the backup, and one was off a fumble.
Yeah, because they said nobody has scored an offensive touchdown against the Patriots yet.
That was 14 points was fluke in the end of the game, and I mean the backups were in. So
well, I mean, look at Jimmy G in San Francisco.
That right there is what I fear is Garoppolo and Brady in the Super Bowl.
Oh wow.
The 49ers have got a pretty solid defense this year. Their offense is looking good. They got a good run game. If they continue to do what they had, Garoppolo stays healthy, I fear seeing them against my boys.
I mean, the run. You think the running game is there? I mean,
they have a solid running game.
Yeah.
I mean, they run similar to the Patriots, where they rush for 75 to 120 yards, with two or three people, but it doesn't matter how you get it as long as you're running.
Right. So you see Patriots and San Fran in the
if things continue. Now, again, this is way too early. Injuries, if Garoppolo goes down for any length of time, that's going to kill the 49ers completely. So
you think Dallas is going to overtake the Saints? Who do you think is going to take down Dallas? I mean, they're 3-0 right now.
Green Bay, San Francisco, Detroit. There's a few teams that are pretty solid.
Do you see Philadelphia winning the division, or do you see Dallas doing
it? I don't think it matters.
Why?
Because whoever wins the division is going to be out of the playoffs in the first run. Because you're going to have the Rams, you're going to have the 49ers, you're going to have the Packers, you're going to have the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Those teams are solid enough to knock out the Cowboys anyway.
The only problem with the Bears that I see, and
the Bears,
they talked about it, Mitch Trubisky is not throwing the ball down the field at all. I mean, it's.
But let me guess. Are they winning?
Well,
they're
2-1 now. They were 1-1. No, I think they're
2-1. The whole division is 2-1 and 3-0. Or Detroit is 2-0-1.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But Minnesota's 2-1. Chicago's 2-1.
Everybody made a big deal about Kyler Murray. What do you see happening with Arizona? I mean, Larry Fitzgerald. I know they got Kyler Murray, and he can move the ball. It's just like I said at the end of and you said they're young, but I've never seen a team fall apart.
Yes,
so
you have.
Fast.
The Redskins did it. The Redskins do it every game.
Let me rephrase that. With the exception of the Redskins, let's.
I mean, the Redskins have fallen apart the same way all the time, every year. They'll get one half is great, and the next one is an abysmal mess.
Well, and that's why they're 500, and they'll never be 500 unless something's done there. The team that scares me, and I'll be honest, looking at the Colts and looking at the Saints with Teddy Bridgewater, if it was Drew Brees in there,
the Saints got obliterated even with Drew Brees in there. The Saints, with Kamara now being the number one, they don't have that tandem with Ingram.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's number one. They know how to play him. They know what he's going to do. Yes, he still makes some big plays here and there, but he's not like he was the last 2 years where it was just crazy.
So let's say this happens, because we know it's probably going to. Patriots in the Super Bowl, if they win it, does Brady play another one?
I don't know.
Because you had a philosophy on that.
This will be the 4th straight Super Bowl they went to. This will be a 2 win, because they
Won last year.
They won last year, lost the year before, won the year before. So they'll put two of them. I think he'll come back to want that 3 in a row that no team has ever done.
And this will be 8 if he wins, because they won 7. If no team's ever won 8. I mean that this he wants to keep breaking.
And this will be the
records.
10th Super Bowl they've been to.
Yeah. And it's
11th.
Yeah, 10. This will be that. I think this is
No, they've lost 3.
All right, now there was
but one was to Chicago back in '85.
There was I gotta tell you this story. I pulled this up. Actually, Marshall sent it to me. The funniest thing I've ever heard, and really, it's kind of weird. Let me go with that. All right, so a woman was arrested in California. She had $6,000 worth of quarters. Took it out of a house in a burglary. And I did the math on this because I looked up, or Marshall looked up the mint. 1 quarter weighs 0.013 pounds. So 24,000 quarters is $6,000. That translates to 312 libs. So she puts these quarters in a baby stroller. And she's trying to push this baby stroller down the road. And 2 detectives see her, and they go to help her because they think she's hurt. And they realize there's not a baby in this carriage. So they go to confront her. She runs. They catch her. They take the money. And what I find so crazy about this is she's held on $65,000 bail. So don't put quarters in a baby carriage. That's a lot of 312 pounds. That's a lot of weight for a 29-year-old woman to push down the road. I
don't find that as funny as you, but okay.
Well, I had to go with it because it was quarters. That's a lot of quarters, and you can see there's a lot of bags here. But that's a lot of weight.
It is.
Good night. Oh my gosh, how in the world? Why would you put? And she put all the quarters in the bag, or in plastic bags, and then transferred them out to a baby carriage. Why?
Well, because she can't carry 312 pounds of quarters.
Obviously,
you gotta have something. I would have got a wheelbarrow or a little red wagon.
I guess a Walmart bag is out of the question.
I would think
not to hold all of them. But it's easier to carry like this than to, I don't know.
How do you know? You ever tried to carry 312 pounds?
I can honestly tell you I have never tried to carry 312 pounds. That's a lot of... Oh, boy. All right. So I got the last thing I got here, the Washington Nationals, I got to tell you, I was so glad they made it in the wild card last night. They started out, and I look at this, May 21st, they were 19-31. No one thought they were going to make it into the wild card. They turned the month of June, July, and August around and won. They won their 88th game. I predicted 3 weeks ago that the Nationals would go to the World Series.
Oh, you're not joking?
No.
Oh.
I still believe that the way this team is played now, I think that what might come to bite them is, again, that 7th, 8th inning, the bullpen there at the end. You've got to secure that. The 8th inning they've had the worst 8-inning stats in the National League right now. So you got to close it out. But I honestly think, again, that grand slam by Turner coming in, winning that 6-5, and the Cubs getting beat. That clinches the wild card, and we'll see what happens. But I do see
they'll be out the first game.
You don't think you think they're going to win the wild card?
Nope.
Okay. Well, we'll have to see what happens. We got about 10 minutes left. What do you want to talk about?
The retirement of Antonio Brown.
He's going to school now. He's
He's going to jail now.
Do they have school in jail?
Yes, they do. He's gonna become a jailhouse lawyer.
Oh boy. Oh man. I read the headline. I'm like, I didn't know they had school behind bars. But
I mean, come on.
Well, I mean, it's bound to catch up with you, man. Good. I mean, like you said, he's had it. He's had it for gosh knows how long, since Pittsburgh. I mean, he set out a year, didn't want to play. I mean, and the excuse was to get his body healthy. I mean, and that could have been part of it, but
there's something happened with that man from the time he started till that last couple of years in Pittsburgh, because it was like he became a different person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, there was just it's like a switch flipped in his head.
Yeah, number one all the time, everywhere. Got to have everything, and it just.
I mean, it just you know. Stick with what you're good at and keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, just play the game. I mean, we talked about that, and a lot of, you know, even rookies, they'll make a mistake, and you said, just shut up and play the game. I mean, it's not going to go away. It's going to stick with you for the rest of your life.
But you see, a mistake on the field can be rectified.
Yeah.
A mistake off the field
can't.
Like whether, you know, the allegations of whether he actually raped his personal trainer or not.
Mm-hmm.
There is physical contact between them two.
Yep.
Whether it was rape or not, why would you even put yourself in those situations?
As popular as you are,
and as troubled as you have been.
Exactly. And it's been everywhere from when he went to the Raiders, as bad as it was with the Raiders. Good God. You asked that. Now, here's the thing. When I talked about this 2 weeks ago, when they told him that, you know, they told him they weren't going to fine him, and everything was, you know, if he would apologize to the team, he apologized to the team, and then they fined him and took away his guaranteed money and his injury settlement, or the other money that he had, which was, you know, he lost $12 million. So when the Patriots signed him, he got that $13 million sign. How do you blow it again? I mean,
he didn't blow it that time. He blew it before that,
and all that caught up with him. Yeah.
All of a sudden, the rape allegations and all some other stuff started coming out, and the Patriots said, you know, that's for us to handle.
Yeah.
We're going to cut you.
And from what I understood, NFL Network covered and said that 3 teams were interested in Antonio Brown if he comes back. Who's going to take him with all that drama?
A team that, like the Patriots, that could control him, maybe. But the Patriots got rid of him. I mean, until this stuff is cleared up. If he want, you know, they would take him back if he's cleared.
Yeah.
If that stuff is not true, you know. But like you said, there has to be some contact there somewhere, because between the two of them. And you're in the limelight all the time anyway, and you know the media is going to follow you around. Put yourself in situations that can cause you even more harm.
And I think that's a true statement with anybody. And we talked about it. When you're in the NFL, you're scrutinized anyway. When you're good and you've got talent.
But see, things like that don't typically – when you're good and try to be well-behaved – and don't put yourself in situations that cause issues, then typically you have a pretty smooth. You put yourself in situations, and stuff starts going downhill, and you continue to put yourself in situations.
And it's like putting your hand on the stove, you're going to burn yourself, and you leave it.
And you go, oh, was that really hot? Oh, I've tried again.
Ow! You know?
Yeah, we'll try it again. Like, you're going to get a different result.
So all right, let's ask this before we end the show. Does Brown come back from this at all? He's done.
I honestly think that there's too much stuff that's happened, and he's gonna probably end up in trouble.
And he should.
If this stuff is true, he should definitely.
And we talked about this. Look, if you do the crime, you do the time. That's just plain and simple.
I don't care who you are, you know. Just like Roethlisberger,
Now, see,
there was things, you know, before all this stuff got rolled back. If he had done this nowadays, and you know, there would have been a lot more and he might not even be in the league now.
He's lucky. He's very lucky because he got away with a lot of
3
stuff.
people accused him of the same situation.
And you're wondering, did he do it?
Well, come on. I mean,
that's
if there's that much smoke,
there's
some fire
somewhere. I agree.
You know,
and I think it comes down to exactly what Chuck said. You cannot, the difference between right and wrong. Because you make millions of dollars is one thing. But if you put yourself in a situation where
you don't have to know what right and wrong is. Okay? Not in this situation. If you're a good football player, and that's what you want to do with your life,
okay,
and you can be successful, you do not put yourself in situations that cause you trouble. Whether you know the right from wrong.
Oh, you don't even get into it.
That doesn't matter. You do not put yourself in situations.
Because you're avoiding the limelight to begin with. Yeah.
Your job is to play football and not have off the field issues.
That's
period.
And I mean, look at Gordon. And you talking about the Patriots.
And Gordon is the dumbest person in the world. I love him to death. He's a great football player.
It is
quoted. How can you not lay off marijuana long enough to play football and win Super Bowls?
I have to go on record. My brother just said Josh Gordon is the dumbest person in the world. Hashtag not hater, just dumb. There we go.
I mean, if you can't put down the marijuana for long enough to play football and you've got signed to the Patriots. You've got a Super Bowl now. You're going to make another one.
Yep.
You're going to be the #1 receiver after playing at Cleveland.
Stop doing stupid stuff.
You've got drug issues
already.
Marijuana issues already.
Mm-hmm.
You know that eventually the Patriots are going to go, this isn't worth it.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to cut you.
Why?
And
keep playing with marijuana. It's not like it's an addictive drug where you have to have it.
No. And that's the thing. You just talked about it. He's putting himself in horrible situations on the best team you can be on, in the best situation you can be in, and your career is going up, up, up.
He had 8 catches for 90 yards and a touchdown last week.
I mean, come on. You can't.
He is a good receiver. He is a #1.
Yeah.
He will take the Patriots if he can just stop smoking weed.
Leave it alone.
Just long enough to play football.
You go out and cut the weeds down.
Off season, when you're not going to be drug testing, do what you got to do.
But season time to play football and shut up. That's it. All right, guys. Look, I want to let you know you can follow us on YouTube, the Sports Minion Radio Show. You can follow us on our Facebook like page, the Sports Minion Radio Show. Also, we have an email, the Sports Minion Radio Show @yahoo.com. Ask questions, send comments. Thank you guys for tuning in with us on Let Go Radio and Facebook Live. I will definitely see you next week. Hopefully, Brother Palsy will be here again next week. Great. Okay, really? No, bad. I'm gonna throw a baseball at him. That was horrible. Okay, I can't even end the show. Look, if you can't be good, be bad, but don't be like him. That was horrible.
Love me.
Love him, guys. We'll see you next week on the Sports Minion Radio Show at 2 o'clock on Wednesday, where we deliver sports to the community the best way we can. See you later.
Da-da!